Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Still Can't Cook. I am your host, Kelley Fahey. Hopefully you know that already. If you don't, stay tuned, you'll get to know me. I want to talk about my last solo. So if you didn't see it, I do talk about, I have an on-again, off-again relationship, which has shifted dramatically throughout the course of, we were together for 13 years, we broke up, backstory. About 2 years ago, we decided we were going to do this new thing. I still don't have I don't know what it's called. It's on again, off again. That's what it's called. Sometimes it's middle again, which is what it was last week. Anyway, on my last episode, I discussed the possibility of dating. I was not going to date. I said I wasn't ready. And then I decided I was going to date mid-shooting of the episode because that's my life and that's how my brain works. And we picked up my phone and we went through a bunch of online apps and some of the things that the guys have said to me, worst pickup lines. And I got so much feedback on that episode, really positive from a bunch of people who were throwing funny lines at me, saying that this was the worst line they ever heard, because I talk about bad pickup lines. And I also wanted to know what a woman's pickup line is bad. Like what do we do or say? I was talking about profile pictures and stuff, and like what that's like switched around for what a man thinks is our, the picture with the fish. I came to think I said it was the mirrored selfie, which of course I have on have it on mine. So there you go. I'm very basic. But anyway, that being said, it came out, and when I did the teasers, without me seeing the teaser before it was released, there was a heading on the teaser, and I think it's the name of the episode. I'm not quite sure. I should pay attention, but Kelley's looking for love. So then, there is someone out there called On Again, Off Again, though I only call him that. No one else does. Well, now some people do. Who was definitely not prepared for that being the header. So I took a second and I was like, okay, hey. I said, so remember that thing I told you about how fun it was to talk about dating and, like we made fun of online dating? Yes, I do. I said, well, the teaser came out today and I'm not sure you're going to love the title of it. And he was like, I'm a big boy. What's the title of it? And I said, I think it was like Kelley's Dating and Looking for Love. The phone rings. He's like, who came up with the title? And I was like, oh, not me. So anyway, he really didn't get mad. But we ended up talking about it, and he's like, thank you for giving me the heads up. Because what it comes down to, and this is the thing I think is important, which I was trying to figure out I've been trying to figure it out for all the episodes. It comes up all the fucking time. I think is, regardless of being in a relationship or out of a relationship, or in the on again, off agains in the middle of a relationship, broken up or not, but still in each other's lives, it's all about respect. And I think what happened to me when I saw that was, for 1 second, I thought, if someone tells him that that's what it says and I hadn't given him a heads up, is he going to feel like I should have? And after the conversation, I was correct. He was happy that I told him ahead of time, because I know from me and what I know clearly from our relationship and all the fucking punches from left field I didn't see coming, is that when you give someone the information ahead of time, like allowing him to have a thought about it, have a conversation with me about it, he's not big on conversations, but he at least got, hey, I care about how this affects you, so this is what it's going to be. I now think it's a great title because he didn't freak out. Short of him freaking out, I thought it was adorable. But I just like, is he going to feel a way about it? And good news is he didn't, because I told him. I do believe had someone spitefully said, oh, did you hear Kelley, da-da-da, it would have hit him in a different way. So clearly I have final say on everything. It is my show. But when I saw it, I didn't see it the way he would see it. So when it finally came out and I was laughing and then I saw it, it's different. It feels different when you get to see it real time. And I was like, oh no. But of course I did have final say on the title, which I lied to him about. Shh, don't tell him. It worked out that I didn't know. It made it better for everybody. So sometimes a little white lie is okay. So I think it's really important, and I don't know why I think I'm a preacher about things, but I think it's really important in relationships, friendships, dating, people in your life. You really need to respect them. And I'll talk about this in another episode more, but I think it's really important when you give somebody what you know they need rather than what it is you need. But for a long time with him, I loved him the way I wanted to be loved. We'll talk more about that in another episode. But with this, really, I would want to know ahead of time, and I was right that he wanted to know ahead of time. So I was respecting him the way he needed to be respected, and I think he's earned that. So anyway, go watch the episode. It's great. I've talked to a few guys since. I am going to be dating. I'm supposed to go on a date on Thursday. Yeah, not thrilled because I don't like the whole concept, but I'm obviously a people person. I'm not, what am I? Am I shy? I'm going to be shy now. I have really cute clothes. I gotta go. I'm gonna go on a date. I am really proud of myself for taking the chance and being open to figuring out what possibly I can be open to with this chapter of my life. It's scary, it's a scary thing when you are a certain age. And I can say this for a lot of people that I know, you get extremely comfortable in your own space, in your own time, doing your own thing, to have someone who you don't know yet, right? This is the whole dating thing. You don't know these people. So to get yourself, when you're comfortable in your house and you got the TV that you watch and you have the shows that you love, you have the friends that you talk to, like you have a routine. But you know what I do? I do actually sleep on one side of the bed. And I do have the opposite side of the bed always open. Feng shui, you're supposed to have closet space too. Don't have any of that. He's gonna have to have a very small luggage that he carries around and hides in the closet. I do keep one side of the bed open, which apparently I do naturally, probably from my past relationship, but still all this time, when we never lived together, I always keep one side of the bed open. That being said, I think if you're interested in meeting somebody and being in a relationship and you're so set in your ways, it's difficult to kind of get out of your own way and get excited about some new things. So I'm proud of myself for taking the chance. Now I say that, hold me to it, because I, in fact, have only talked to people and not gone on the dates. And another thing that people want to do on these weird dating apps is the FaceTime date, which I've strayed from that. So maybe I can do a FaceTime date and we can talk about that. Anyway, open to change is really important. I think it keeps you young, right? Like I can meet new people. I mean, just last weekend I was at a party, I met I have so many new phone numbers. And why is it that I can't do that with dudes? Like I get really freaked out. So I think that staying open to meeting men, whether you just become friends or you become lovers, is extremely important, because I guess you can't make that call. I think that if we could meet men, if I could meet a man the same way I meet a new female friend and just see what happens. Like I never, when I meet a woman I bond with, we change numbers and whatever it is that we're bonding over, I'm very open to a new friendship. But somehow when I meet a guy, I'm not. So I should probably look at it like a friendship first. You know what's funny is I don't need a therapist anymore, because I do these things and I just fix myself. So that part of my life is fixed now. Now I understand. I'll be married by the next episode. Anyway, just saying, it's to be open to it has been complicated for me, and to finding time in my day that I could be doing the things I'm used to doing. Like I want to just sit on the fucking couch and watch TV. I'm so obsessed with like TV and jonesing out on Housewives and doing all the things at home on Netflix, to have to go out and like change and get dressed and then do small talk. And anyway, I am open to it, and I'm happy that I'm saying that and I'm speaking those words. But see, part of me, see the whole mood change? My whole energy is like, okay, I'll go on a date. No, it's supposed to be like, yeah, I'll go on a date. Jazz hands. I'm trying to get jazz hands. I don't have those yet about the dating, but I am open to it. I'm open to meeting new people. And talking about that, it's, meeting new people at this stage of the game, it's pretty interesting how you find friendships at my age, and how old relationships that possibly were sexual at one point, you really find the joy in the platonic part of the relationship. Like my female friends are like the shit. I will hang up, I will do like 25 FaceTimes, like, oh, I gotta go to Kelley, it's gotta go to Lane, it's gotta go to Michelle's calling, I'm bing, 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 bing. And I'm a FaceTime person, except for when it's a guy that we're trying to date. But FaceTime is what I do all day. Voice notes and FaceTime, stay with me, those are the things I do. So if you don't FaceTime, we can't be friends. Or you can voice text, but I hate regular phone calls. Can't stand it. But you have to do that for the dating part. See, I'm changing my ways. I'm open to change. This is the whole segment. Kelley is open to change. But that means I have to leave the house. Unless I just online date, do the FaceTime phone calls, and have a wine over the phone, and we call that dating, and then I never have to see my bottom part. I'll be naked from the bottom down. That's my weird kink. Go back to the episode when I'm solo again, and I talk about kinky shit. Anyway, yeah, so changing up the game, being open to change, knowing that at this point, do I have to put it in a blender? I had a guest on who referred to, I said, well, I only date older. And very funny, it was Kelley Catrone. She said, well, Kel, he's only going to be able to do that for so long. And then cut to Kelley, me wheeling in my new boyfriend. Not there's anything wrong with the wheelchair. In mine, he's an old man. He's not anything wrong with his physical being. He's just old. Probably have to cut the wheelchair part so I don't get sued. Forget about the wheelchair. Imagine Kelley walking in the door with someone who's 95 years old, with, I don't know, a cane and an aide or something. I guess I have to start dating younger too. So I'm right now, to be honest, I'll put it out there. I'm 53, I will be 54. The person that I'm supposed to go on a date with on Thursday is a younger guy. He's 52. So we'll see if he's gonna come up in a diaper, because I'm used to the other end of the diaper. I'm used to like the dying end of the diapers. That guy I'm used to. The guy who used to shit in his pants, stopped shitting his pants, and now shitting his pants again. That's the guy I wanna date. Just kidding. On again, off again does not shit his pants. I think there comes a time in all of our lives, and I've had the luck of going through 5 decades of this. You always think that your time is running out for certain things you want to achieve. You know, it's like some people set goals. I want to be this by I'm 25. I want to be married by 27. I want to have kids by 30. So, you know, sitting back at 53 and thinking, you know, I am not, one of the crazy discoveries is I'm not in midlife, because I'm probably not going to live to 106, which is a little bit scary. But I think everybody at some point in their life feels like they either waited too long, and I can't say everybody, but probably most people have a timing on things, and we feel as if we're getting to a place where what we wanted to achieve, we can no longer achieve unless we put it in a blender and speed it up. I think it sits a little bit differently when you're of a certain age. And at this point, you know, I know that I will never be married to anybody for 50 years. I'll never be in a 30-year relationship unless I'm some kind of weird fucking scientific miracle. But I don't want to be 110 holding someone's hand, to be honest. See, it's the opposite, but I'd date a 110-year-old man. I'd hold his hand, only if he had money in the bank. But I think that it's, at our age, at my age, I think it tends to be something where whatever you're telling yourself, I don't feel like I need it. I think what happens to a lot of people, especially with this rush to time things, and like, are we running out of time for certain things to do in our lives? It's other people's voices. I don't wake up and feel 53. I don't dress like I'm 53, and we're gonna talk about that. I wake up and I feel like I did when I was 25. I just have a smarter mindset. I just make better decisions. But I don't physically see myself as 53 until I'm bending over to blow dry my hair and I see my elephant knees. Then I'm like, oh yeah, that's a 53-year-old knee. But when I'm standing straight up, I swear the best look, and you guys can't see me, but the best look ever is like the arms up look if you do nudes. If you ever take naked pictures at 53, arms over the head. Even when you're 23, I hit my microphone. I'm sorry about that sound, people. My editors fucking hate me. Anyway, hands over the head, lengthening. It still works at my age. Not that I send nudes, but if I did, on again, off again. I think aging doesn't sit with you all the time. Like, you don't wake up in your 20s and be like, I'm 20. Like, there are moments where your age catches up and you go, oh, right, that's what's happening. I was walking, before I came out to sit down here today, I walked by the mirror, and I know this is gonna be shocking, but I do fillers and Botox, which you would know if you watch my other episodes. But I have a little indent today, and I was sitting in the mirror and I was talking to myself like this. I'm like, oh yeah, that's where I need some filler right there. And for 5 minutes of my 24-hour day, I was like, fuck, I'm 53. The cheeks are like, they're no longer God-made cheeks. They're man-made cheeks. Although God made the doctor, if you believe that stuff. So anyway, I have man-made cheeks and I have an indentation. So I think that the point is, I don't think any one of us wake up until we do, and this is the other, I don't think until we actually get physical ailments due to age, or when you get close enough to really knowing like, I could die tomorrow and it's just not timed that way. It doesn't seem that I'm supposed to, but it could happen. But if I was 86, every time I'd have a cough, I'd freak out. I have a friend who has an older mom, and every time she's sick, she's like, she probably thinks it's like, I'm sick, I'm dying. Like, you can't just have a cold in your late 80s. I don't think you can, or I probably won't be able to, although who knows? Maybe in your late 80s you feel like you do in your 50s, that you don't really fucking think about your age all the time. Age is something, and having a goal that has to be set by a certain day, except for having children, which apparently you have to do through certain years of your life. I happily miss those years. But if you want to have kids, yes, then there's a clock on it. Short of that, and collecting Social Security, which we're probably not going to have anyway, don't want to get political, fuck you, Donald Trump. But But short of having children and collecting Social Security, there's very little things in the middle that have to be rushed or are time sensitive. You can do whatever you want at any certain age. And though I feel the need to get more done in a day now, just because I know how important I am now to myself and to my friends. And like, when I'm doing things, I feel better about myself. And when I'm in a better mood, I give off better energy, and then I give my friends better energy. So for me, doing things is more about keeping myself busy and feeling important, and not so much about having to get it done because time is running out. But in reality, at 53, I do have those moments where I'm like, shit, I'm not middle-aged. So it's kind of again, just like most of life and most of my show, it's both. It's like, yes, the time is running out, and yes, you feel a little more of a push to get things done faster, but at the same time, it's like, I'm gonna take a nap. I'm 53, the bill wage. So it's, I don't know, I think it's an interesting thing. If there isn't a part of your life that you wake up and think about your age on a daily, I think it would probably be when you're elderly and your body's affected by your age. I think at the age I'm at now, there are these moments of surprise, which we're going to get into about all the shit that happens after 50. But for right now, in this segment, there are some weird things. I think about my age mostly when I'm naked. How about that? How's that kink? Mostly when I'm naked, because in clothes I look good. And I look good naked too. But I look 53. I look like a good 53-year-old. I went yesterday, this is a little bit too much information, but it's a true story. I went yesterday to have, I went to tan in the tanning salon. I know, not good for me, bad for my skin. I come from a generation that didn't have a seatbelt in the back of the car. We're fine. Or the front seat, to be honest. And my father smoked packs of cigarettes, so I've lived through that. I'll be fine in the tanning salon. I used baby oil to go in the sun when I was a kid. And I don't know if you know how white I am, but that's fucking crazy. You could put an egg on my face and fry it on Jones Beach when I was a kid. So I went to the tanning salon yesterday. I gotta go back. You know what else I did? Remember the tinfoil things? I had a tinfoil visor that I would sit. Who did I think I was? I'm lucky I'm not riddled with skin cancer. I probably am. But I Botox over it. But I went to the tanning salon yesterday, and after tanning, I was like, I think I probably should get a wax. And then I was going to have a massage. So I was like, I was supposed to go to Miami. I didn't go to Miami. I'm not what is the thing? People do the needles and you don't have any more hair. A laser. I don't laser. That's not my thing. Wax, because at some point I might want hair. Winter, cold, want some hair. But I decided yesterday to get a wax. And clearly, this is true. Laid on the table. Anyone who's been waxed knows you're naked from the bottom down. And she said something, and I may possibly have a gray hair or two. And I said something about the grays. I go, well, 53. And she's like, oh my God, you're 53. Now, mind you know where she is. She in the business. She's like painting me with wax. And she goes, you don't look 53. So my vagina looks young. I had a moment. I heard harps playing. I was like, wait, what? What part of me doesn't look 53? And I'm like, okay, I'm being fucking creepy. Never mind. Thanks, that's a compliment. But I was naked on a table. So maybe I look naked laying down good too. Maybe that's the age. Because remember I said hands up naked? Maybe I'll do laying down naked. Anyway, she said I looked good. And she was very close to body parts that I don't really want people very close to unless we're, I don't know, not dating, unless they're paying my rent. Sorry, that was a joke. Take that out too. I don't want people that close to that part. I don't want people close to that body part who I don't know personally and who I'm paying to do things. Well, the masseuse is in there too. Never mind. I don't care. I don't care who's close to that body part. She told me it looked good, and that's all that mattered. She said it did not look 53, and I know she wasn't talking about my chin. She was too far from it. So, yes, being my age is weird. You feel like you're rushed sometimes, and you don't feel like you have to rush so much because things hurt when you run. So for me, sitting happily in 53, but I do have to figure out what is important about being 53 is making decisions about my wardrobe. We're going to jump to this because this is important. So I have met a ton of people, right? Through the dog a lot. I'm not going to lie. I got a lot of dog friends. Amen, dog friends. But a lot of people will compliment my wardrobe. I have this thing in common with my friends. I'm the friend who loves clothing. All my friends love clothes. But for me, I bond over food and clothes with my friends. But clothing, I bond with random strangers. People will come up to me on a regular basis and compliment something that I'm wearing, and then opens up a conversation, and then I go, you know what I think you'd look good in? I think I'm a fucking stylist. So I make friends based on fashion. But the thing that's bringing me to is all the things that change after 50, and one of those things that we've not even touched on is your fashion sense. Because here's the thing that happens. Shoot back to my elephant knees. I love a good denim short. Levi's, I love you, Levi's. This is not a paid program. We should be. Levi's sponsor me because I live shit and eat you. You're the best fucking jeans that have ever been made. Nothing looks better than Levi's on your ass. Love you, Levi's. I love Levi's and I love Delta. Neither one of you pay for me, but I support you. In any case, that being said, these are Levi's custom made. Love. So, but I love a good denim cutoff Levi. And I have worn denim Levi's, and apparently a friend of mine called them something and it really bothered me. I think it was a jort. It was a jort. I couldn't despise a word more. They're fucking denim shorts or jean shorts or shorts. And if they're not jean shorts and they're any other kind of shorts, then you tell me what fabric it is. I love anything with jean shorts. I think I look adorable in jean shorts. But you know what I can't do in a jean short? I can't bend the fuck over because my knees literally look like an elephant's knees. And if you, at some point I'll show them to you, but not right now because I want to keep you guys interested in me. But yeah, jean shorts you can't wear, or I have to wear selectively. I like a jean short with a boot and a blazer. You have to figure out how to correctively dress your age. And I think for sure I've had a problem with that. I now have decided, and again, I wear specific things on the show, right? This is Frankie Shop. I wear a ton of Frankie Shop. Again, one of my favorite designers. I'm not being paid to say that. Love you, Frankie Shop. Most of the shirts I wear on the show are Frankie Shop and Balenciaga and some other brands, but I'll tell you as we go because people have been asking. This is Frankie Shop. But I've decided that I'm going to go, my 50s theme is all baggy. So I do very baggy pants with a very baggy top with a boyfriend blazer. Everything that I wear now, I look like I could be from the movie Big and I was shrunk and I was Tom Hanks. I was a big lady and now I'm a little teeny tiny person because I'm short. And all my clothes are made for very tall people. I walk on my jeans now, I walk on my pants now, but I think it's hip and it's fitting because everything's covered. So that's like my winter getting away with covering yourself wardrobe. But the problem now is we're going into the season, we gotta show some shit. So I'm trying to sort this out now. I don't really know how I'm gonna bring in my style flair, because I do have it, with my aging skin and body. So we're gonna work that out somehow this summer. I was thinking, one of the things I have a lot of long, like silk dresses, you know, little, I don't know what they're called, but silk dresses. And I think I could wear those with the t-shirt. Again, covering up modestly. I can do a lot of short, like mid things, but then I don't know. It's like I'm 53 years old. Am I supposed to be showing my stomach still? Unless I'm like Jane Fonda, I don't think I should be showing my stomach. I don't know. I'm working through the fashion and how it pulls into being over 50. And that brings me to shopping. First of all, I do a ton of online shopping. After Barney's closed, RIP, saddest day of my life, one of many, not saddest day of my life, saddest shopping day of my life. Fashion dark day was the day Barney's closed. When that happened, I had to figure out a new way of shopping, and that's when online kind of went hand in hand. So I do a lot of online shopping. But one thing I've realized is that when you go into a store, if you're not age appropriate from the store, at my age, you know immediately. And I am not mad at Urban Outfitters at all. I'm not mad at Zara. Great for you. I'll online shop the shit out of you. And Free People. Love Free People too. Those are great little pieces that you can mix in. But man alive, I walk in the stores and I'm like, I can't. The fucking music is so loud. I'm like, if I'm in a store when the music is too loud, I shouldn't be in the store anymore. I'm too old. I've outgrown the store. I've aged out of it. That's what I've done. So I've aged out of Urban Outfitters. I possibly have aged out of Zara, at least the one down here, super loud. And what's the other one I said I aged out of? Zara. I don't know, it doesn't matter. Look, see? I forgot. It's the menopause thing. Menopause brain. What's great? I swear to God, I learn things and I'm like, I already knew that. I already knew that, but I forgot it again. So it's perfect. Every day I learn something new because I forgot something the day before. Back to things that happen over 50. You fucking forget things all the time. My brain has an ongoing soundtrack, which I've told you, and I promise you, people say words to me, and I have to like sing the song in my head. And a lot of times I sing it out loud, and I look like a fucking weirdo. But it'll happen if you're ever in my presence and you say something that brings up a song to me or a line of a song, I will repeat the rest of the song. I want to do a segment called Name That Tune. We'll talk about that later, but how fun would that be? Remember Name That Tune? I'm very good at it. Today's episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. You ever find yourself giving a TED Talk to a barista about how you really don't hate Mondays, but you do hate capitalism? No? Just me? Look, we all need someone to talk to. But maybe it should be a licensed professional and not the guy who's trying to make you your soy milk latte. That's when BetterHelp comes in. It's completely online, so you can actually connect with a therapist from absolutely anywhere. Your couch, your car, that weird random seat you never sit in your apartment. No awkward waiting rooms, no scheduling nightmares. Just therapy when you need it on your time. And if you've ever tried therapy before and you didn't click with your therapist, no worries. With the BetterHelp, you get access to 30,000 licensed therapists, and you can change them at any time at no extra charge. Build your support system today with BetterHelp. Go to betterhelp.com/cook for 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/cook. Now let's get back to the show. So part of my new fashion theme, I kind of am dressing like a dude, but like a cute little dude. So I've incorporated I have some really high-end pieces, and I incorporated them to kind of a sneaker and a t-shirt and kind of marrying. One of the things about my fashion sense, and I found it years ago, was that I like the juxtaposition between hard and soft. I'm someone who wants to wear, I want to wear a dress with sneakers. I want to wear a heel with a jean and a t-shirt. I like hard and soft. If I'm all dressed up, if I'm in a dress and heels, I'm at a wedding. I don't do that for dinners. I don't do that for dates. I'm not that girl. I've never been that girl. If I'm going somewhere fancy, opening nights, I will dress up a blazer and jeans. I will wear slacks and suits. I like to marry comfort and fashion together. That being said, it also comes to a place where you just want to be comfortable all the time. And how do you do that? I always call myself homeless chic. I say it constantly. That used to be my hashtag, homeless chic. Now to do more of that, and now it's Still Can't Cook. But one of the things I find very easy to do at our age, my age, your age, is the hoodie, the sweatpants, the sneaker. And nothing is cuter with a sweatpants and a sneaker than a blazer, especially when traveling. I can literally work that outfit out. I wear t-shirts and sweatpants and sneakers and a blazer, and everyone asks me if I'm a stylist. I get more compliments on my wardrobe. I swear to God. I know you're judging me and by the way, I love Frankie's, we're back. But I have some cute shit and I put it together well. But at my age, it is a difficult balance. When you have to do something very dressy, which I've had a few occasions to have to do lately, what do I wear at my age? Can I wear a short dress still? I mean, thank God my legs are not bad. I'm just kidding. But, there are certain positions. There's a Seinfeld episode where they're naked, or the girlfriend's always naked, and she goes and she's doing something on a bike, like she's using a wrench, and the joke is like, there are some things you should never do naked, no matter what. So that's kind of the thing about body parts at this point. Like, there are certain things you have to be more conscious of. Like, if people have a big belly, I don't have that, but there are women who do, or men who do. And, there's a spank, and there's a be conscious of your belly. Like, you suck it in at some points. Like, there are parts of my body at 53 that you have to be conscious of not regularly showing. We have this weird, doesn't matter how fat or not fat you are. Over a certain age, you get a little bra fat. I never had it in my 30s and 40s, and it's a little chunky bra fat. So that's there. I have to be conscious of that. I'm not going to wear something that's going to squeeze her over. There's things you got to be thinking about, and everybody's body is different. But I think it's a hard road to walk down. First of all, if you don't think anything about it and just hop in clothes like you haven't aged, that's very apparent on the street, and I see you. Stop doing that. You need to put some thought into your clothes after a certain age, unless you just didn't age and time stopped you, and good for you. More pleasure, but then your face is probably whack. If your body looks great, your face is probably, God balances us out. So I used to say I never got pimples because he gave me freckles. God gives and he takes. That's what he does. So if you don't think about what you're wearing at our age, my age, or any age, that's probably a bad thing, and you probably look stupid, especially as you get older. You should be conscious of the things you put on your body. You don't want to, right? You don't want negative attention. We don't want to be showing things off and then get mad at people. I get back to men whistling and doing that stuff, which, God, I miss that. I don't know if it's against the law and just my age. I don't know which it is. I'm going to blame the law and not that it's my age. If you don't think about what you're wearing, I think a lot of times you make fashion mistakes. I don't want to do that. So I consciously think about the things I'm going to put on. And I believe, for me, tell me how you feel. Being completely casual is the easiest way to go at my age. Because you can go cute, baggy, you can go sweats, you can go jeans, you can do, as long as you're all covered up, you're fine casual. Summer casual is going to be a trip. I got to figure this out because I'm summer casual, going to be turning 54 this year, so I got to step it up a notch. I think I'm going to do this, it's called the slip dress. I'm going to do the silk slip dresses, maybe some t-shirts, some cardigan, may I say? A cardigan. Dare I bring that into my wardrobe? Cardigan. My girlfriend had on a cardigan and jeans the other day, but she had a cardigan, short cardigan. We need one of those with no bra, cutesy patoots, hanging off her shoulders with jeans. This is going to be some of the things I'm pulling into my wardrobe because as a cardigan at my age, I always wear the long ones, and when you are my age, you don't want to look like a grandma, you can't wear a long cardigan anymore. Take the long cardigans out, they're to sit in the house because now you look like someone's abuela. You cannot wear a long cardigan out after 50. I love that I think I'm a fucking fashion guru, but these are the things that sit in my head. So I got to get short cardigans. Figuring out how to pull out the summer casual is difficult, but the thing that I find hardest at this point is the dressy wardrobe. As I was saying, I don't know short dresses, long dresses, open shoulders, no open shoulders. Do I dare do a tube top at my age? I've just bought 3 dresses from Zara. Thank you, Bethany Frankel. I listen to you and I love you. When you're on the show, we can discuss. But she put these little halter dresses out from Zara, and I got them, and they're fabulous. Now, how do I wear that? With a short cardigan, I think. Dare I say a cardigan? That might be my fashion trend for the summer. Cardigans over like tanks, and bathing suit top with a cardigan could work too. But does it work with my jean shorts? My jean shorts are going to be a staple of my wardrobe. I wear them in the winter with tights and boots and sweaters. How do you live without a jean short? I don't even know if I can do it. I think I'll be wearing jean shorts like at 86. I'll be like wearing them in the old age home, walking around, dragging my what is it called? My oxygen tank, and I'll have on jean shorts, but I'll be fashionable. I don't know, fucking fashion. Everything changes. You have to think about all these things. You have to think about your shoe wear. I used to think about shoe wear all the time. That shoe wear has always been a thing for me, but at my age, your feet hurt. It's like, I don't want to suffer. I've suffered for fashion for years, and I will wing it. I will put on a shoe. My fucking feet will be bleeding, but I will look good, and I will leave it on. And the trick is you never take your shoe off. And anyone who doesn't know that, know it. It's like when you pee when you've been drinking and you break the seal, they say. You know, once you pee, you got to keep peeing. So I don't ever pee. I'm like a fucking camel. I don't pee. And peeing is one of my biggest... Peeing and showering are 2 of the most annoying things that you have to do. They take away so much of my day. I pee so much, everyone does, but I'm like the person who waits to the very last minute. If I could ever have someone else pee for me, that would be a gift. Do I want to fly or be invisible? No, I want someone else to pee for me. Save me so much time. I hate peeing. Quick, in and out, pee, hate it. And I wait till the very last second, which is probably bad for my bladder. And later when I can wear diapers, I probably won't pee in them either, because I just don't like peeing, except when I'm in a pool or in the shower. See, things come back together. Anyhow. So the peeing thing is not something that's new to 50. That is not one of the things that change after 50. For me, peeing was always annoying. It just seemed like it came in the middle of the most inopportune time, like at the best part of a movie, in the middle of a great conversation, while I'm having dinner. I just find it, the act of it, taking me away from other people. If we could all pee publicly, I'd be more happy, because then I feel like I'm missing out on something. Maybe that's what it is. I have FOMO when I run to the bathroom. So, but that's not one of the things that change after 50. For me, I've been doing that since I'm a kid. Didn't like peeing, always bothered me. But what does change after 50 is a million other things. One of the things that I've found recently is that when you get hormones, and I've talked about hormone replacement therapy, I'm on hormone replacement therapy now, and for the first time, literally my doctor has nailed it. I am so happy. I have all this shit I gotta take, and I have no adrenal gland, which is a weird thing when you're dealing with all these changes in your body. And that isn't something that happened because of menopause. It's something that happened because of stress. So now I'm on adrenal replacement. But look, it's amazing. Here's what's great about being over 50. When you're 40 and shit's going wrong, you can't supplement the shit out of it. You got to actually get down to the bottom of what's happening. Right now, 99% of the things that are going wacky in women over 50 is menopausal. It's hormonal. And there is a pill for that. Like there is a lotion, I'm putting estrogen, now I have an estrogen cream, goes on my thighs, switch thighs back and forth. It's great. But you're so old you forget to take it. I have an actual list, which is the only thing I don't like about it, having all these supplements and not having the memory that I used to have. So while I'm replacing the one things, I'm forgetting everything. So I have a list that I have hanging over first of all, here's the thing. I didn't have it hanging. I had it hidden so that no one in my house could see that I take 5,000 fucking pills a day. I have morning, afternoon, evening, and then bedtime pills. And so I have this little list and I keep putting it out, taking it and putting it away. And I went away for the weekend and left my housekeeper and my friend and my dog's girlfriend, Rebecca, in the house alone. And I came home and you know what she did? She taped it to the side of my refrigerator. You know what I used to do? Tape my mother's medicine to the side of the refrigerator. I had a holy cow, I'm that old moment when I walked in and saw my medicine list. Please tell me if you can relate to that. If you were lucky enough to have parents that lived long enough for you to help them with the medicine, I had that list and I would make her check it off. She hung the fucking thing. I'm that old. I'm that old today o'clock. I have a list of all the medicine I have to take. That being said, the good news is you can regulate your shit after 50. When you're in your 40s, it's therapy. This is, you can do, here you need it all. So you got your therapist, you got your estrogen, you got all your pills, you got your housekeeper, remind you how fucking old you are. And 40, you have therapists, girlfriends, alcohol. That's what you have. So the good thing about 50 is there are actual pills to help it. And your 40s, it's like some kind of Lexapro and other kind of fucking mood stabling shit you need. Ativan. Now I just need a good estrogen and testosterone. And I'm set. I'm cake. So after 50, you have medication that can fix all your problems. That's what's really great too. And then the problems that you forget about, you just sleep through, it's fine. You just don't remember them. And then you hear about it again and you get pissed off. And you can have a whole reaction to something you already knew and have a new reaction about it all the time. It's really fun. I can change who I am every day. I can be pissed off one day and be like, I think that's the greatest idea the next day. And no one can hold me to it because they're like, poor Kelley, she forgot. You know, her mother had Alzheimer's. I learn new things every day too. Dwayne Reed, big one, very big one. And that I'm old enough to have a medicine fucking calendar hung up on the side of my refrigerator. I skipped past having my kids' A's and B's on the fridge and went directly to having my hormone replacement on the fucking fridge. So I missed a chunk of shit. Maybe I did and I just forgot. Maybe there's kids or somewhere going, Ma, what are you talking about? Anyway, there is definitely a power in becoming a woman of a certain age, meeting an age that not everybody's blessed enough to get to, and sitting in it and really owning the power of it. Like I had said before, and talked a little bit about, how difficult it is to kind of transition through some things at my age, right? Like it's because I'm not there and not there. I'm not a kid, and I was reading something earlier, and it said, as an old lady, and I thought, no, it says as an older woman, and I thought it was written down. We're on a show for this. I thought it said, as an old woman. I'm like, I ain't no fucking old woman. I'm not saying I'm an old woman. And I'm like, oh, as an older woman. Do you see how that changes the power dynamic? As an older woman, or I'm an old woman. Why those? I want to be an old woman. I want to live to be able to say I'm an old woman. God, I hope I can. But as of right now, then I'm taking away, there's some 7-year-old like, bitch, who are you talking to? You're not old. I'm not an old woman. Let me give her the grace to have her old woman day. I'm an older woman. You welcome 40-year-olds. So as an older woman, there comes a place of real kind of, there's a power in, I'll tell you with it, there's a power in your alone moments. Like you really, even if you're in public, the things you think about, you have little aha, I grew moments constantly at my age. And you'll know what I'm talking about. Those moments that used to get under your skin, or where you thought you can like argue maybe with somebody, where now you're like, I'm too old to do that. That's a good one, right? But you do it in your own head, and you smile at somebody where you want to rip their fucking head off. But you go, I'm 53. Thank you so much. You should work on your attitude. There is a woman who works at a store around the block from my house whose attitude is so stank. I don't even want to go to the store. And I called and spoke to the manager on the phone. Well, first she got on the phone, and I was like, what is your problem? I'm like, can you please put the manager on? Like every time I'm trying to spend money and you're making me annoyed prior to spending money. But you know what I would have done in my 40s is I would have walked around the block to the store and been like, this is me that you're, but no. I didn't even have to say it out loud. I'm saying it out loud for you guys for the first time. But I thought, I'm too mature for that. I'm going to talk to the manager. And I told the manager that she's nasty, and she's nasty all the time. And guess what? She still works there and it doesn't matter. But now I'm uncomfortable and I can't go into the store because she knows that I said she was mean. But she is mean, and I make Rebecca go there because she's not mean to Rebecca. But she does always side-eye my dog because she knows it's my dog. But this woman was mean. Here's what I'm saying. Point is, in my 40s, I would have gone around there, but now I'm just going to tell the manager on her. I kind of carried out on that one, but I don't really carry out ever, but I kind of did with that one. I hid behind the phone and called and told on her. I was that lady. Excuse me, can I speak to the manager? But from a phone where I'm really hidden. But she knew my voice. And by the way, I said my name when I called, so I kind of fucked myself on that one. But yeah, at my age, leaning into being 53 and all that means, like, little shit doesn't bother me. There was a situation recently in my family, and I'm not going to get too into it, but where one member of my family felt a way about something that I literally sat back and I was like, wow, how are you letting that bother you right now? Like, what is going on? And then I thought, wow, am I being condescending? Because again, I'm at the age where I'm condescending a lot, because I'm like, oh, that's so no. Fuck am I telling somebody it's not a big deal? If somebody's a big deal, it's a big deal for her, it's a big deal for her. Now I gave it away because I have brothers and a sister. It was my sister. But I was like, then I thought, okay, Kellyanne, regroup and say, why is this bothering you? I'm like so fixed. It's so crazy. I don't even need therapy. I don't even need you guys. No, I'm just kidding. I really need you guys. But I was so grown. So that, there comes points where you just figure out paying bills, prioritizing spending money. Someone said, I had a girlfriend who said she couldn't afford something. And I was like, you can't say that. Those are words we can't speak. You could say that's not a priority right now. It changes the power. I can't afford that. Even if you can't afford that, saying that puts it in the universe and makes it more true and makes you hear it. It makes you feel a way about yourself, and you present yourself in a way of someone who can't afford something. But if you just say, that's not my priority right now, what? That means you have priorities, and you're correct because you're keeping your priorities in check. Changes the way you do things. That happened at 53 o'clock. So yeah, I think that there's certain parts of almost my everyday where it isn't, again, a thought of my age, but more of the growth and the learning and the space that you get to, where you really do stop sweating the small stuff, care about how other people. Now, 2 times in this podcast, I said 2 things. Caring about what on again, off again, thought about before it came out, where in my 40s, I might have been like, he's done that to me anyway. I see how it feels. And it would have been this like, oh, I hope it hurts. Like, almost, it's not hope it hurts, but I hope I get his attention. I don't want negative attention. I used to think good attention's, any attention's good attention, and like what any news is good news. We all know that that's not true these days on any front. So yeah, I didn't want any negative attention. And with my sister, I found myself saying, who the fuck do I think I am to tell her what's important and what's not important? She's voicing something that's important to her. I have to respect that it's important, but then I have to say, can you get to a deeper reason for why this is upsetting you? I think I'm a therapist. I think you guys should call in with your problems. I think I could fix everything now. I've grown so much in this one podcast, except for that I can't forget, look at the words. The words go. I'm about to make a funny thing and the words go. So aging fucked up my funny. I used to be much funnier in my 40s when I could remember everything I was saying. So the question posed to me by my producer is, how would I rebrand this era of my aging? I don't quite know if there is a brand on the era of aging where I'm at. I think that we are probably the least seen, least focused on, which is crazy because we have money, but marketing isn't focused at us. I buy, as I've mentioned prior, and I talk about things repeatedly, so just bear with me. I buy all the stuff I buy from 22-year-olds who are talking about how they're saving themselves from wrinkles. I don't buy people that look like people who are my age who look like me don't do fucking commercials. It's their children that are doing commercials now for anti-aging stuff. So we're kind of like this forgotten breed of women, except for Nicole Kidman, who's working constantly. I don't even know how this woman has a fucking, she's on like 75 channels doing 75 different things. So Nicole Kidman, I see you. But I mean, there's very few women my age at this little gap. Like there are the 40s to 50-ish, and then the 65 to 80-ish, the Helen Mirrams and the rock on. But I think my age group is this weird kind of, you're in between, you're transitioning, and you don't really see us often. So I think that the rebranding should be any fucking branding. I don't think we have a branding. I'm a branding. Be this branding. Talk about shit. I don't think we talk enough about menopause. Oh, Oprah just started some menopause thing. God bless you, Oprah and Gail. I know Gail, but I'll come to the show. We'll talk about it. But Oprah just did where she's getting women together. I know she had Maria Shriver on, and she's doing this women in menopause thing. And thank God for Oprah, because legit, no one's talking about it. Women my age are talking about losing their husbands, dealing with narcissists and new age crap. What's it called? Like, creams and shit and drinking teas. Just this unrealistic stuff like ayahuasca. Not that that's unrealistic, but it's like we have a whole other stuff. Like, I want to talk about online dating and having sex with your masseuse and what makes your hair grow back and how come my knees look like elephants. And do you want to have sex? Do you not want to have sex? When are we rushed? We don't talk about this shit. We talk. And if you're out there, I'm not, sorry I don't see you. I'm talking broadly because that's what I do. Big swipes is what I take. If I was an artist, it'd be one big canvas of one color. Because that was my point, get it? One stroke. Yeah, I don't know. I think that our rebranding should be a-branding, and I think it is happening. When people like Oprah Winfrey getting up and talking about menopause, I mean, holy shit, that was huge. And I haven't actually watched the full episode because I've been doing my own. And I actually thought to myself, if I do sit and watch this, am I going to be a copycat? Because if you're going to be a copycat Oprah. But I wanted to hesitate to see it because I know that I would hear things that I would want to talk about, and then I would be the person talking about what she talked about. So if I mention anything she's talked about, it's a coincidence because I haven't seen it, except for that she and Maria Schreiber were really good friends and they took photographs together, and she's discussing what it's like to be perimenopausal and menopausal. She's talking a lot about microdosing too, which is what I was saying a lot of women my age talk about, but she's talking about it in a way with doctors, with like backup, with like a lot of data. She had one thing about mushrooms. Again, I catch the clips, but I haven't caught the whole. I don't know how I feel. I met someone this weekend who just went on a ayahuasca trip, and she did it 2 days in a row, and she saw her mother and she saw her grandmother, and she came back with information she would have never known had she not actually been greeted by these people. And she gave me some really beautiful ideas of how to honor my mom and my dad and my lost people. And that was interesting, but I'm too afraid. I don't imagine dying of me at this age, dying of a drug overdose. I mean, ayahuasca. No, I'm good. I would be too scared. I don't have that kind of naturally balanced peace level because I would take the drug and swear to God I was dying. So I'm not going to do that. Or I'd be a fucking ayahuasca head. I'd be out on the street like shooting it up. One or the other. What I do a lot of, or I don't do any of it. So I have a addictive personality, and those of you who know me know that. Smoke 3 packs a day when I smoked, drink a shit ton of alcohol when I'm drinking, spend too much, talk too much. Yeah, I'd ayahuasca too much. And I'm probably saying it wrong. I think it's ayahuasca. Anyway, the rebranding of this part of my life, I think what I'm going to stick to is that there really is no branding. I think one of the things we should really hone into, focus on, and take pride in is the freedom of being this age. I think I have parental freedom. I have girlfriends who have their kids are a certain age now. They have much more freedom to do the things they wanted to do while they were parenting, and not that they didn't love raising their children. But now that that's not their daily constant fear of the kid doing things wrong or whatever the fucking kids do, but they can travel a little bit more and have some freedom. I think financially we're smarter at my age. I think romantically, friendships, everything, there's a grounding. And I think that one of the things we should be focusing on is the joy of this. It's really, because we do celebrate the 30s and the 40s, but I guess 40s gets a little scary depending on what you do for work. And then we get to the age of 60 to 70 where it's like we have the respect, the older woman, then it's when you you look good for your age. Then it's kind of okay if they do plastic surgery. Then we kind of bypass the clip, the little facelift ear you can see. But at my age, in this middle ground of 53, I mean, we're not midlife, but we're kind of mid-focus, we're in the gray area here. I think we're in the in-between. And if we're not seeing us, who else is gonna? I think we need to pay a little bit more attention. That's why talking about fashion, as fucking vapid as that might sound, we don't leave the house naked, right? So it does matter how we represent ourselves. And I've had other people like, oh, you're materialistic. Fuck off. I'm not materialistic. I just like things. And you're only mad that I'm materialistic because you can't afford the shit I like. And I'm not being a dick about that, kind of being a dick about it. But it's like, anyone who calls you materialistic, who cares? Yeah, okay, great. I have an Apple phone. What do you have? Of course you have a fucking Apple phone. Are you materialistic? Or maybe you have a Galaxy, but that's a name brand too. It's funny how you pick and choose. Are you driving a fucking Range Rover, but you don't like the fact that I have a Balenciaga t-shirt on because you're wearing fucking Wranglers? But look at your car. It's all perspective. what do you like based on what I like? Somebody has a really fancy car. I don't have a car. I have good shoes. So I don't like when people call me, I don't like that because it's been said before that, what is it, materialistic? Look, I'm taking a whole ride. I'm getting mad about something that's not even happened. Stay with me, guys. It's because they cut the pet peeve section. I got to be pissed off about something today. I cut the pet peeve. It's my show. I've decided to cut the pet peeves, but I'm still mad. I'm mad about being called materialistic. I think that, and I'm not called that on a regular basis, but I have heard it in reference. And I think that it's funny because if you take a step back and see what you spend your money, what are your priorities? Whoop, she brings it back. What are you spending your money on? Just because I spend it on things that you don't think matter or they're frivolous to you, if I had a Mack truck outside, it would be stupid because I don't want one. I don't drive. I mean, I do, but not regularly. I'd rather get in the back of a Lyft because they're connected to Delta. Anyway, I just got myself tired. I need a nap. So I'm not going to apologize for the things that I like. And I don't think anybody should apologize for the thing that they like. And I think it is really true if you take a step back and you think about it when I say certain people do certain things with their money and certain people do other things with their money. And it is what it is. And do what makes you happy. And one of the things that makes me happy is like doing things now, finding new things at my age that make me happy. I want to pick up new hobbies. And one of the things that I've decided to do is to travel alone. You know, for many, many years, I traveled with my partner. I traveled with girlfriends. But I didn't just I spent a lot of downtime by myself when I was able to, once I lived by myself. You know, before living alone, I had roommates, and again, I lived in a small house with 6 people, so I didn't have a lot of personal space and downtime alone. So when I was able to do that, I did it in my house, but to travel, I definitely felt safer to be with more people. And as recently, I took a trip and I decided that traveling alone is something that I'm going to give myself, because I don't think we give ourselves enough grace to give ourselves the things we need. Why do I need to wait around to have someone who has time to go with me when I have time right now? You know, and again, we talk about it a lot. I don't know if we're going to have time tomorrow. It's what we have right now is all we have. So if I want to take a trip and I don't have anybody to take a trip with, I should take the trip anyway. One of the best parts about my last trip was like sharing my vacation with my friends when I get back, talking to them again. We called. It wasn't like I wasn't talking to anybody, but really being in the moment and meeting people, meeting new people. You know, my friends are all connected. The people I spend the most time with all know each other, but it is really nice to meet new people and find new things with people. I kind of want to take a painting class. I talked about this before, not here probably, but with other friends. Like I was thinking painting could be a really fun thing because I've never done that. So I want to like find things to do and meet people that have similar interests as me, because I do have it with my friends, but again, my friends don't live in New York. Most of my friends are outside of New York. But I definitely, I think it'd be important to figure out some great hobbies at this point. When in a relationship, I think it's really fun if you take a dancing class. That was one of the things that I always wanted to do. And it might sound corny, but I think that, I think dancing is sexy, right? I think at our age, most people, if you're in a relationship, probably in it for quite some time by the time you're my age. So I think it like spins it up a little bit. I think it could be super sexy to take like a tango dance or even waltzing. I mean, I don't know a lot of the dance names, but I think partner dancing is kind of sexy. And as a single woman, I could probably take a dance class. Ooh, did I just find another way to date? I don't know. Maybe I'll take a dance class. But I think at this age, it's finding new ways of meeting people and making new friendships and finding new bonds with people is important, because you got to mix it up. You know, I think it's important to keep new things happening to keep your brain active, so you fucking keep your head young, because mine is all over the place. I don't even know what I'm supposed to be talking about now. So with all the other changes and growing and spots we get to, I mean, with all of the things that we go through and we get to, at some point, you understand how much your relationships change, you know, and how important it is to really have a good group of solid girlfriends and some male friends, and to figure out how things that used to be, I'm going to bring it back to on again, off again. Sorry, I always bring him back to him, but like it is so super important at this point in our relationship that I am the person he calls for regular mundane things, that the platonic side of the relationship is so important, because at the end of the day, that's really all we have, right? It's like, who do you want to talk to? Who do you want to share your story with? Who do you want to So I watched this show, which a lot of people have seen already. It was called Dying for Sex. I believe it's on Hulu, and it's Michelle Williams. And it is about a woman who is diagnosed with cancer and who is terminally ill and decides she wants to die with her best friend. She leaves the man she's with. If you haven't seen it, speed through this. I don't want to give anything away. If you have seen it, it's a beautiful journey. It talks about medication, and I know firsthand that medication can absolutely affect your sex drive in a way that's almost dangerous. And she is on medications for cancer, and her husband believes that this is what's making her so horny. She says that it's because she's never had a fulfilling sex life and that she wants that before she dies. So I don't know which comes first. I don't know if the drugs did push her into taking some dangerous chances. But again, she's dying of cancer, so she's like, fuck it, right? But the beautiful thing that happened for me with the movie was that the TV show, is that she chose to die with her best girlfriend. And it was a very amazing friendship, beautifully done. The actor who played her best friend, I wish I knew her name. I don't, but she's fantastic. But there's a scene when it's all said and done, and she's leaving. She goes to see her spouse and stepchild, and she turns around, and there are two old women sitting laughing and having a tea, and she looks at them with such adoration, wow, that could have been and should have been us. And it took me back. I cried from certain moments, but for that moment, to get to a place where you are of a certain age, and again, I know I'm not an old lady, but 53 is some people's goals. Some people didn't fucking get here. So to be able to sit with my friends, new and old, and laugh and have a wine and take a walk, it's super important, because that's the beauty of this woman choosing, not that you should leave your husband and die with your best friend unless you're unhappy. She was unhappy. She was unsatisfied. More importantly, she wasn't unhappy. That's what's so beautiful. She wasn't unhappy. She was unsatisfied. And if you're at the end of it, how long will you live unsatisfied, right? So I think it's super important that we cherish the friendships that we have at this age. And if you have exes that you no longer have, a sexual relationship with, but you have that past, platonic relationships are so important right now. They're important all the time, but they're harder at certain ages because there's jealousies and all this stuff. I think that's another thing we haven't talked about. At this age, jealousy goes out the window. You know what I'm jealous of? Who is your surgeon? Who did those cheeks? I got the indent. Where'd you get your nose done? Where'd you get your facelift? What are you taking for your hair? That's what I get jealous about. I want to know all the products. Short of that, I don't get jealous of a goddamn thing at this age, because it's all so fleeting, right? But that moment, if she looked back at those two people, you just felt her, you felt it. You're like, you know what? I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky to still have that. And I do it. Like I said, I just went away with my girlfriends this weekend. I'm going to be going away again this weekend to see my girlfriends. And then I'm going to take a trip, another solo trip, because I think for me, I've really found a way of filling myself up. Taking a trip alone with Oliver definitely has to have sand involved. I'm not the city trip kind of person. I love cities, but it's not, I'd rather be in sand. So I'm going to do that as part of my self-help without my therapy, and just grounding and filling myself up to come back and do this and be able to give myself, There's so much day to day that happens. Living in New York is crazy. I'm avoiding getting banged into all the time. I'm down by Wall Street, and you're walking you're always going to get knocked over, beat up. My dog's in the way. People are yelling at each other. You're always in high alert, and I don't know what you guys do, but work is hard. Life is hard. You need to take time, whatever it is, whatever your priorities are at the moment, whatever that is, take the time to do it. Quiet, sit and read a book. I have a girlfriend who locks herself in the bathroom. Do that. Wherever your safe space, quiet time, but to get filled back up is extremely important, because we give so much, especially right now. There's so much going on in the world. Fear of the market and wars and all. It's crazy. We need a second. We all need a second. So my moment of peace is taking a solo trip. And I just recently discovered that. And again, I have to be able to prioritize it, have the money to do it, not take it from any place that I actually need it. And when I can really just spend and not worry is when I'll do it. So right now it's not my priority, but it will be coming up soon when I'm able to take a minute. And I think it's really important, whatever it is that you guys need or how you find that time, to take a minute and just breathe and fill yourself back up, because the world is, just walking down the block is crazy these days. I'm so very grateful that you tuned in again. Thank you so much for listening to me and taking this ride with me. It means the world to me. Please subscribe, follow, comment. If you listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or YouTube, even on Instagram, you can follow me on Instagram. It Still Can't Cook. Subscribe, comment, please comment, and follow. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming, and I'll see you next week. Hey guys, thank you so much for showing up for another episode of Still Can't Cook. Subscribe to us wherever you listen to your podcasts, on YouTube or any other podcast provider. And if you're on Instagram or TikTok, please follow us at Still Can't Cook. Love to have you guys back every week. So happy that you joined us, and look forward to seeing you next week.